Bam!
If someone's new or just starting to listen out there, maybe watching us, how do you sharpen your intuition? I know you talked about experience, right? Going with your gut. But I'm saying, because I think I've even seen you have data stacked against the way you ended up going, right? Like you've been in that situation where you're like, here's the data. The data is telling us to do this, but I feel we should
Yeah.
go this
Well,
way.
we know two situations like that are intimate to us. When COVID came out about closing, we talked about closing and we didn't. There was an argument with our executives where I said we can't shut the doors down. Too many employees need to make a paycheck. Too many customers still want a product. We need to be as safe and as proactive as possible. And we took ourselves off payroll as the executives for 3 or 4 months, and then we shared that story to help motivate some of the employees. And then some of the directors even stepped up, and some of the sales team, and they wanted to donate and did some of their payroll to help stay open during that time. And we worked with some vendors to kick the can down the road of paying them later so we can get through that tough time, which we ended up growing for it. I mean, it empowered our team to go, wow, look what we can do. And we lost a handful of employees. We told them, stay at home if you're scared, you're going active. After that, use your vacation, use your PTO time. After that, you go inactive. But we lost some because unemployment was paying an astronomical amount,
Mm-hmm.
and some people would rather stay at home and get paid. I ain't mad at you. I get it. But as that phased out, we ended up doubling in size. We went from 750 employees to almost 1,700, so over double. And that's because of the mindset of us. It was so easy for us, and the data showed, to go ahead and furlough everybody and take a pause.
Mm-hmm.
But my gut, my intuition at that time told me, no, dude. And it's not selfish. I didn't get paid. We were off payroll. This wasn't about selfish drive. This was about guilt of the 750 or 800 employees we had at that time. Now it's 1,700. But at that time what about Marcy, who's in customer service and she's a single mom? She's got to buy diapers. What about Mike, who's an installer and he's the only provider at home and he's got a power bill, hopefully a solar bill, and groceries to buy, right? That's where it becomes real. And you have to make decisions. If I'm going to live with a decision, yes, I'm going to look at data, but my intuition overrides that. If I feel that strong, if I'm uncertain, you follow the data. If I feel that strong about something, I'm going to bet on what my intuition is telling me. At that time, it was successful, right? And we ended up growing, and we would, knock on wood, we didn't have a lot of cases of COVID, and everybody's been healthy. It's been great. It's been a good run, right? We're still doing what we need to do. And for those listening, yes, the executives are back on payroll finally. It took a while, but we're back, okay? But another time was going into the new year. The executives, Ben talks about it all the time. He's our CSO. I wanted us to do something different. In our business, we offer solar, and anybody can offer solar. They're knocking on doors. Hey, change your power bill to this. That's great. But, I wanted us to be in the forefront. I see electric cars coming. I see all the power outages coming. All these things, the issues that we have going on kind of stacked against us at home. And so I challenged all of us as we went into the new year to try to be at 30% for the first quarter. I mean, for the beginning of the year for battery attachment. And they were no way we do it. No way. And I said, no, we're going to be able to do it. I said, I'd like to be at 30%, going into the beginning, first 2 quarters of the year, be at 60% by the end of the year. And they all doubted. They were, no, even Ben will say, they were like, doesn't make sense. Why would someone pay extra for a battery and storage to go with solar? And I said, well, because people like to buy things that are beneficial to them. Not everything is about just saving money. Sometimes people buy internet, or they buy a cell phone, or they buy a car, or they buy shoes, they buy things. When you get solar and then you get battery and storage, you're not saving money. I mean, it's costing you money.
Sure.
But what you're doing is you're empowering yourself to control your power cost and control any power outages and be set up for the future for time of use, and the list goes on, right? Of all the benefits and perks. And I'm not trying to sell everyone solar. I'm giving an example of our business. So my intuition said we need to be different. Even our largest competitors, Tesla, who sells batteries, right, for cars, and Sunrun, they weren't over 30% attachment rate. And I said, well, I want us to be better and bigger. Well, it worked. And then we partnered with Generac right before the pandemic, and things aligned. And I'm glad to say that here we are in November, we're at 78% battery attachment. That means every 100 customers we get, 78% of them get battery and storage, and they're prepared for the future. We don't want customers calling us back in a year saying, I want a battery, and we've got to, it's like removing you got to remove everything we do. You don't want to deal with that mess.
Right.
So we're being proactive with the consumer, giving them better financing, discounted, doing the things we need to do. But it's really put our thumbprint on this industry of, look at this company that's adding all these batteries and storage for the future. It makes us different. Just like with our energy efficiency package or Smart 360, efficiency package that we do with every customer. It makes us different with blown insulation, LED lights, all that stuff. That's important. But you got to follow your intuition. The data said we wouldn't be able to do it. I'm a big believer. If you believe in something enough and it feels good in your gut, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to try it. You can't make excuses. You can't be scared. I always say scared money don't make money. You've got to bet on what you believe.
Right.
And follow that intuition. And against the grain and my team again, I said, guys, trust me. Trust me on this one. I promise it's going to be okay. And I love Ben to death because he comes out and says, dude, Jayson saw this. We said, no way. And he said, yep, this is what we're going to do. And it worked out. And, it worked out, luckily. I mean, I'm glad it did. It would have sucked if it didn't. But, I'm a big believer. If you believe in something and you empower something and you empower your people and you get everyone to believe in it, it's going to happen, dude. There's nothing that can stop you but you.
Well, yeah, and that's a good point, right? So, like, your intuition is a lot of the times you're going to get behind your gut, your intuition, a lot more than you would data, right? So when you're behind something and you're passionate, that's going to come out in your voice, your message, your conversations, to your team and whatnot. So that helps that ripple effect just reach further and further and further. And we saw that in both of those cases, right? So you believe strongly in your point and you got behind it, and then people kind of follow suit. They get behind that with someone, right? With yourself. So I got a question for you. You go with your intuition a lot. Is there situations, or what happens when your intuition fails you? Do you stop believing in it? Or are you less confident in your decision making, or are you always
naturally you would think that's the case,
Sure.
right? You'd be like, damn it, dude, I was wrong about that person, or I was wrong about that situation. But that's where the positive mindset comes in, right? Mm-hmm. The best baseball players in the world hit the ball 3 out of 10 times. Not 10 out of 10, not 9 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Their intuition is swinging at a pitch, and they're hitting it 3 out of 10. And they're not freaking out about the 7 they didn't hit. And I think it's the same case in life and in business with intuition. You have to follow what you believe, period. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. You pick up the pieces and you do it again. Mm-hmm. I've been wrong. I've been wrong about people I hired. I'm like, this person's going to be a game changer for us. Totally wrong. Mm-hmm. Shit show, created problems, liar, whatever, you name it. I've had some bad hires in my life. Before I got married, bad girlfriends. This is the one. Not happening. Come on, right? You get bad decision making. Your intuition. It's okay if I go here. Nothing's going to happen to me, and something happens, and you're like, oh. But you can't beat yourself up. I mean, I'm always trying to be forward thinking. So when something is great and I hit my intuition, which I told you, I feel like I hit my intuition 70% of the time, not 30% of the time like batting. I feel like my intuition's at 70. I'm really lucky. Like it happens. Yeah. But those 3 or 4 out of 10 that I don't hit on, that I was wrong on, I just focus on the ones I do and stay positive. Because once I start looking negative, now I'm going to second guess my intuition. And now we're talking about confidence. We're talking about the ability to overcome things or second guess yourself. And that's a whole nother conversation, dealing with problems, and you're slowed down in the mud, right? The goal is to stay the hell out of the mud and stay on the road and stay forward. And you're going to stay forward as long as you, in my opinion, follow your gut and believe in something.